Hey guys, I'm Al Kaiser, and today I'd like to talk a bit about grouping in Diablo 3. And just thinking about it, it's come to the point where it's like grouping is just so much better than doing anything by yourself now that it's pretty much a complete waste of time to play solo, and it really sucks. And you know, if I were trying to farm that guy, for example, for keys, or doing these bounties, trying to EXP up, trying to get loot by myself, or even with one or two other people, it's so much better doing it in a full group, especially if the people know exactly what they're doing. And one of the things I really liked about vanilla Diablo 3 was that I could do everything by myself. Because right now, as Repro Souls is aged, the group play has basically completely pushed out the solo play to the point that you have to play in a group if you want to be competitive, or if you want to do well, if you want to get your drops and EXP quickly. The biggest thing I would say is the current meta, where existed in Season 2, but this season it's even more extreme, because in Season 2 people were spamming GRIF 35-ish with the EXP percent gear in the greater rifts because it multiplies, and the EXP you would get from this was just ridiculous compared to, say, T6 rifts, even in a 4-player group, but even more so as a solo, versus a solo. Now in this season we're talking people are doing mid-40s, low to mid-40s, and that's even more EXP. And the thing with trials is, going from trials to greater rifts, if you do that as by yourself, it takes forever to make those keys, where if you're playing in a 4-player group, for every one key you make, if you know how to set it up, for every one key you make, that's 4 in a group. So, and trials take a long time, especially to make level 40 keys. You would just waste way too much time. And even if you were to do it solo, it's still gonna be shit in comparison to a full group. And it's just, every aspect of this game has become, you have to play in a group. And if you're playing as a solo, in comparison, it's laughable. It's a joke, really. And a lot of people have expressed, from my stream in chat, that they quit the game because they don't want to spam greater Rift 40s, because, that for one reason, but also greater Rift, are boring to them. There's no loot that drops until you kill the Rift Guardian, which, I was thinking about it in any action RPG I've ever played, and I've played a handful, that they've never had a design like that, the loot lust, and, seeing whatever could potentially drop at any given point in time was pretty cool. And I've had many of those experiences in D2, in this game, other action RPGs, Path of Exile, I don't even know what else, Dungeon Siege, random, whatever. It's just like, it's happened to where you're just messing around, killing whatever, and you remember, oh man, I got a Storm Shield this one time in D2, just killing some random mob, or kicking over an urn or something. But you'll never have that experience doing G-Rift Blast. And I don't know, I don't think G-Rift should be the focus of the game, and it's kind of shifted that way to where everybody just does G-Rift Blast. And I don't have a problem with G-Rifts, but there needs to be other things to do that are, worth the time spent, whether it be at another tournament level that's not all about speed. It's fairly challenging relative to how powerful characters are, and you're rewarded for it. That would be one example you could do. because, I don't know, I think most people, including myself, enjoyed T6 a lot more. I don't really enjoy T6 as much now because you clear it in 30 to 60 seconds. Everything shouldn't be about speed in this game, and it almost always has. And it would be nice to, you know, if your character is very powerful, he gets something for it. You know, you can do this or that for it, as opposed to this current G-Rift, whatever, made up last mid-40s. Would be nice to see, you know, to be able to log into the game and say, I can do this or that by myself, or with, you know, my friend or something like that. Because right now, I log in sometimes and I look at the game and I'm like, well, my group's not on to farm G-Rifts, so what can I do in the game by myself, or with, you know, some random people that's worth the time, and there's not very much. You know, I can farm bounties with, you know, some other people, but that's about it. And that's mostly just because bounties are so easy. But even then, you know, I still have to find those people or whatever, or even G-Rift 30 and whatever. But all of that stuff takes a group, right? What I'm doing right now is significantly weaker than, you know, if I just invited three whatever people, randoms, to help me blast these bounties. Or like I don't really care that right now that much, but just as an example. But how powerful G-Rift 40 spam right now is outrageous. There's nothing that competes with it or even comes close outside of G-Rifts. And I would like to be able to log into the game and do things at any given time. I don't want to have to feel like I got to schedule around other people, because that G-Rift 40 stuff does take a fairly organized group with a specific class makeup, that kind of thing, for it to be competitive, worth the time, whatever. I just hope Blizzard maybe, I don't think they have done this, these things intentionally. It's just a side effect of the natural progression that they've taken the game. But they do need to, well, they don't need to, but it would be great if they would give the solos, the solo play, you know, make it worth it, the time you spend. Group play should be superior, but not to the point to where it's 10 times better, 20 times better, you know, no exaggeration. Doing T6, for example, as a solo player, doing like G-Ref 35, 40 as a solo player, it's like 10 times slower, 10 times less efficient. And I think that's about all I got. It's just, I don't want to feel forced to play in a group in Diablo 3. And I think a lot of people share that same reason. A lot of people probably have gotten into Diablo 3 because they could do everything by themselves, and I'm one of those people as well. After arenas and raiding in WoW, I wanted a game to where I could be self-sufficient. And Diablo 3 is going further and further in the direction to where that's not the case anymore. I mean, it's actually there right now. You have to play in a group. And I think that's about all I got, like I said. So I'll see you guys on stream or next time, whenever.